Hello to my Pisces. All right, let's get right into your reading. Talking to you wherever Pisces is in your birth charts. Wherever Pisces is in your birth chart, let's get into it. All right, let's get right into it. All right, let's see what's in your cards. Let us see what's in your cards. All right, let's start this thing off right. I detach myself from anger and replace it with compassion. Replace it with compassion. Yes, that's the only way to go, to be compassionate. Compassionate. You're going to choose an emotion, you can choose compassion. Choose compassion. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what the number is. 818. Infinity. Wasn't that in Toy Story? To infinity and beyond. Life is a never ending loop. One cycle in your life is ending, but another is beginning. This shift can feel catastrophic, but it's the natural way of things. Be on the lookout for other signs coming your way. Your communication with your angels is strong right now. Draw another card with the intention of receiving guidance in your next steps as your current cycle ends and the next one begins. Life is a never ending loop. Something having to do with fire energy. Something having to do with fire. Somebody's water is being affected by a fire sign. You're in the middle of two energies who either their sun or moon is fire. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Either their sun or moon or fire. You're affected by it. You're sitting right there, smack right in the middle of something. You're in the middle of something, and somebody's like, for some reason, just keep going with the flow. I don't know. So protect your water. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. There's nothing but to do it, but let's get into it. Ow. Let's do it. All right, let's see what's going on, Pisces. Infinity. All right. Let's see what's in your cards. Yeah, there's two energies. They're causing a bunch of confusion. Dark magician energies. Child, what is going on? These two energies are caught up in some kind of a loop. Dark magician energies. We're talking about the third auric layer. That's the mental body, which resides 3 to 8 inches off the physical body, and it is related to your solar plexus chakra and all your mental processes, ideas, and judgments. And so this is connected to both the conscious and subconscious mind. It'll reveal any self-doubts or limiting beliefs. So, yeah. You're trying to embark on a new journey. You just closed out one cycle. It feel like, okay, you know what? You detach from something, but entering something into something else. Right? So Source needs you to stay focused. Source needs you to stay focused. Source needs you to stay focused. Keep your vibrations high. The devil is in the details. The main thing Source needs you to do is to make peace with something you may have been holding on to that's caused you anger, and show, like I said, this is perfect. I detach myself from anger and replace it with compassion. That's what Source is saying. Like, that's the answer. That's your whole reading right there. Have compassion, because again, if you don't know a full story, you can easily get caught up in a loop of something when you don't know everything. That's what Source is trying to tell you. You don't know everything. You can easily get caught up in a loop. There's an Aries involved in something. Could be a man or woman, doesn't really matter. But it's some other first house, right? First house. First house, personality, temperament, appearance, self-image, first impression, self-awareness, outlook on life. Somebody had you pegged from the beginning. Somebody had you pegged from the beginning, Pisces. They took one look at you and said, that is going to be my partner in crime. That's what somebody said. They can get you mixed up in some kind of... They tried it with somebody else, but somebody moved on, and they called them a snake. Somebody moved on. They like, nah. This energy in hindsight. So you just write this infinity symbol right here. in hindsight, it's going to be real clear. Something is going to be real clear to you that the reason why there's an energy that for them they feel like something is their way or the highway, but they're not telling you everything, is because they already tried it with somebody else. And whoever that somebody else is, they are dead set on causing a tower in their lives. So this is a general reading, so take however it resonates. Whoever the energy is, that they are dead set, they are literally obsessed with causing confusion in their life. It's because they tried something with them, but their psychic power, their psychic gifts kicked in and they left. The scales from their eyes were removed. They were like, nah, They see right through something. They see right through something. They saw something really clear. See how this person right here has their index finger in their mouth? This person is like contemplating, like, something's not right about something. So whenever a cycle is closing, whether it's a job, friendship, part of something that you, whatever you're a part of, is closing out. If you leave before other energies have accomplished what they want, then they consider you as the snake. This is somebody you have an emotional connection with. It could be a family member, somebody you have an emotional connection with. They call you a snake. And as long as you're around them, you consider everybody else as a snake. But I talk about duality here on my channel. Duality. What's the dual nature? This is the year of the snake. This is year of rebirth, right? Everybody's going through a rebirth. The only way, because nobody gets away with anything. Nobody gets away with anything. Source is saying to you, you detaching yourself from anger and you're replacing it with compassion. There's a reason why some energies are nervous now. There's a reason why some energies are nervous. Because just like whoever they're hell-bent on, whoever these energies are, they hell-bent on making sure this person, they got away with such and such, they got away with so and so. They are stuck on that. We need to chop the head of the snake off. They need to chop the head of the snake off. That water is reflective. That's why it's so angry. That's why that spirit is so angry, because the devil is in the details. If somebody moved on from these energies, it's because that's not the only thing they saw. Think about your future. Other people learn how to think about their future. That's 11th house. 11th house is all about friendships, community goals, hopes, wishes, awareness, humanitarianism, technology, and the future. Think about your future. Because something took off like wildfire. So sit yourself down and through prayer and meditation and tap in. You can close out a cycle. Somebody said something about some karmics. They're so busy demonizing whoever this energy is, not you, Pisces, but whoever this energy, these two energies you're attached to, they so busy demonizing tarot. They so busy demonizing tarot and watching tarot. I mean, obsessed with it. So obsessed with it. They heard something in a reading that sent them into a tailspin, and they should be. They should be. Because they felt like something was their way or the highway. But hold on, cowpo. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Emotionally, you need to feel like you jumped out of a treasure chest. Because you sticking your finger in your index finger in your mouth like, hold on. Something ain't right. Something is not right. Something just ain't right. Yeah, because it's not. So a decision has been made. Some kind of a partnership in business or partnership in love is trying to come in for you. Some kind of a partnership in business or partnership in love. And again, I'm talking to you all, anybody who's in your 12th house, Pisces rules 12th house, right? That means somebody has psychic abilities, somebody's a healer, someone who is comfortable being in solitude. Kind of make me in hermit mode a little bit. Someone who has access to secrets and emotions and those kind of things. But somebody was right in the middle of two karmics who like to separate people. Six of Wands here. So whatever was confusing you, like to a point of anger and like frustration or whatever, because these energies right here were projecting their anger, frustration, their what's the word I'm looking for, hostility and all of that onto you, like projecting it onto you. That's why I would say, you know, your water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. So the you keeping your vibrations high with whatever source is saying, keeping your vibrations high, your money is coming your way, love is coming across your path, so your wishes are being fulfilled for what you want. But these energies right here, they like talking down to people. These are family members you have an emotional tie to. Whether it's your mom's side of the family, dad's side of the family, whoever. They like talking down to people, looking down on people, talking down on people, treating people as less than. That's what you and somebody have in common. You and somebody not a fool at all. Y'all not a fool at all. They like to treat people less than because it was done to them. They like to bait people into stuff. 5 and 6 is 11. I mean, 6 and 5 is 11, right? So, soon as they soon as these energies feel like somebody's about to hit center stage, these are two energies right here. Soon as they feel like somebody's about to be in the spotlight, they go into separating energies, right? These are family members. They go right into separating people from their kids, separating people from whatever, right? Because really, it's them that want the spotlight. They go right into separating people. So, for instance, Pisces, if you have, let's say, you have, because everybody has inherited gifts. Let's say, for instance, you have kids that's, you know, they were called to, let's say, something that puts them on a center stage. Let's say spiritually, something called them to be on a center stage, like speaking engagements, or like, let's say they're inspirational speakers or whatever the case may be, right? These two energies right here, these two right here, they so busy trying to separate people because it's trying to create chaos and confusion to always create. They use that opportunity to create chaos and confusion so that it can put them in the center stage every single time. Every single time. But part of it, this starts when they're younger by talking down, yelling at somebody, constantly yelling and humiliating. There's always humiliating somebody, bullying somebody, right? Always yelling and humiliating and bullying somebody. As soon as the scales fall off somebody's eyes, that's where they go right into a smear campaign behind people's backs. Oh, they're a snake, they this and that. You need to wake up from a nightmare. You need to wake up. Whatever you've been holding on to, you need to get on top of. You need to get on top of some things. These energies got you in the middle of something. Saying that you and somebody was paid money to do something. And Source is the one that's trying to give you money. But these two energies, they get ready to start sing-a-ling-a-ling. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye. They about to start singing. So get some rest. Get some rest. They got you in the middle of some mess, child. Some mess. Yep. They said they got physical evidence or something. But so do you. Here we have the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Some energies didn't want you to thrive behind closed doors. This is what you have in common with somebody. Let me help somebody with. Listen, you got two energies right here that. Where's the card? In the minor arcana, that snake symbolizes the devil, right? They made a deal with the devil. These two karmics made a deal with the devil that they could not deliver on. They couldn't deliver on. But the devil came back and said, okay, they want their. Would you say you was going to deliver? If you can't deliver one, I need you to go get the other one. You are the other one. Because the one that they keep calling the snake is the one that scales fell from their eyes. They woke up and saw something and go, wait a minute. What the heck? So all your cups have been poured out. You poured out all your cups into something. You poured out all your cups into something. And now it's time for you to learn how to tap into. These energies specialize in keeping people apart. There's a part of these two bowls right here. And creating pain, right? To make you and somebody look like y'all enemies. It keeps coming out in your reading. They keep making you and somebody look like they're your enemies. That you and somebody are enemies. They needed somebody to sacrifice. And you creating something new. And you're looking for somebody to sacrifice. Here's the Ace of Pentacles here. So, yeah, they're looking for somebody to sacrifice. There's a big money in that. So they tried to walk somebody into something. And that person said, oh, heck no. You must be crazier than a mixed bag of nuts. And went on about their business. So, Source is saying you need to go back to your memory. You need to go back down your memory, in your memory. Remember where something started. But if anything, you need to detach yourself from anger and replace it with compassion. Because you're overthinking something. You're way overthinking something. The goal was to stop you from talking to somebody. That was the goal. To push you behind closed doors, to push somebody else behind closed doors, but to keep you all from talking to each other. Because you would have been knew what was going on. You would have been known what was going on, Pisces. They got you in the middle of something. Yep. But you and somebody having a breakthrough. And neither one of y'all are boo-boo the fool. That's why they had to create so much dissension between you and somebody and make it seem like it was a competition. No competition. This could be you and a sibling. It could be you and somebody. Create some kind of dissension between you and somebody, keeping y'all apart. Making y'all enemies. Remember, this speaks to the 7th house, right? Justice card speaks to 7th house is Libra. That's about marriage, relationships, partnerships, business contracts, inner desires, and also enemies. So these energies, in their spare time, they create enemies by who's the best looking, who's the smartest, who's this, who's that, talking about people behind their backs constantly, making you feel like you're a part of a conversation. Everything but making you clear about what their agenda is. Family members. Child, a whole hot mess. So, and what they really working on, and who they working for. So keep going with the flow if you want. Keep talking about your nightmares, because that's part of the spell work. Keep talking about your nightmares. Keep talking over and over and over again like a broken record. That's part of spell work. Because your hook, line, and sinker, like a song, a hook. You don't remember anything else except the hook of the song. You don't remember the first verse, the second. You don't remember the third verse. You don't remember the chorus. All you remember is the hook, right? So the conversation is going on repeat, like this infinity symbol of confusion. It's just a bunch of confusion over and over and over again. Yeah. They keep talking about the same old things. Child, don't even change. So you and somebody will be creating something new. You and somebody will be creating something new, but you need to detach yourself from anger and replace it with compassion. Think about your future, because they're saying your words are gonna be used against you. Just like they said, everybody else. So everybody else got a sharp tongue. Everybody got a smart mouth. All those things, right? When really, so it's just saying you're just really thinking about your future. You know, your somebody has a big heart. Somebody really loves people, like genuinely loves people, and genuinely cares about people. That's what this looks like here in the cards. And again, it speaks to the 11th house. You know, friendships, community, all of that. But you're gonna be cutting a whole lot of people off. You're gonna be cutting a whole lot of people off after this. Because something feels too much like home for some people, and you will not be going back. Something feels too much like home for people. People talking about love shouldn't hurt somebody like this. Like, what the heck is going on? So you got some good news coming through. Somebody was like a fish out of water. Yeah, you got some good news coming through. They try to play you and somebody like two fools. But you got, like I said, you got a decision to make. And so it's just saying this is one person right here, and this is where you're saying no more dysfunctional relationships, period. We're not even talking about just romantic. No more dysfunctional relationships in your personal or your professional life. You're done with that. You're done with that. Somebody could work in the legal field or something like that. Could be working in a, you don't necessarily have to be an attorney or a judge. You could actually work for them, right? But somebody says no more dysfunctional friendships, romantic relationships, no more dysfunction, period. If people don't see you as equal, like bringing something to the table, just like you see them as bringing something to the table, it's going to be a no for you. It's going to be a flat out no for you. So that's what I'm seeing in your cards here. Yeah, intuition. Your intuition kept trying to tell you something. You like your head and heart are at war with each other. Remember, this speaks to heart chakra, right? So the heart chakra, that's the middle auric layer, and it's connected to the heart chakra, and it serves as a gateway to the upper chakras and divine energies. But guess what? Energies were making you feel like you were part of something, right? But they put you smack dab in the middle of something. Either you work for something legal, something you do that somebody needed you for something because they felt like you didn't know what your worth was. You didn't know your worth or your value. They put you in the middle of something having to do with children. It's something else. They're trying to say, this is what's happening here. Somebody's basically trying to say that You were either in a romantic relationship with somebody or you were in a partnership with somebody, right? This is what they're putting you in the middle of, these two karmics. They're trying to create confusion with you and somebody, right? While you and somebody's been apart, right? Basically now saying that your words are going to be used against you. Something you said about somebody from the past. But they're basically saying, this is what these energies are saying. Hold on, let's add all this up. 8, 9, 10. Your wishes are being fulfilled. Your wishes are being fulfilled. Like you're a part of a community. Like I said, you could be a part of a legal community. You could be a part of something such as, these energies are always looking to, like I said, the devil is in the detail, very crafty. Looking at this, Pisces. So these energies so that they got away with something, except somebody has something physical that they won't be able to say it's not theirs. Somebody got something physical that they say that wasn't there. They can't even say something was planted. This is 6 and ace. It's 7, right? They can't even say this. They can't even say that because that would be a lie. They can't even say somebody planted something. They're trying to put you and somebody, they're trying to say you and somebody got away with something. Either y'all was partners in something or whatever the case may be. What are they trying to say? You and somebody was partners in something. You could either be in a same-sex relationship or an opposite-sex relationship or whatever. But your intuition kept trying to tell you is like something ain't right with these energy. Like, why are they so obsessed? That's what you kept asking. You kept saying. But Source kept telling you, get into prayer warrior mode. Kept telling you, if you want real clarity, get into prayer warrior mode. Get into prayer warrior mode. Get into prayer warrior mode. Courage. Let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. Why do you think somebody's family was so warming up to you? Do you think that was odd? Why would somebody's family go against their own loved ones and warm up to you? Because you didn't know your worth and you didn't know your value. Why was they warming up to you? If it was somebody else's family, you had an emotional connection. All of a sudden you in. But then you didn't see somebody you was dating around. And put you right in the middle of something. Winning. So sooner or later, luck comes to everyone. So I'm seeing success here. I'm seeing your flexibility, vacation. So you go on vacation and during the beginning here, public face, exhausted. Something has just been exhausting for you. Something has been exhausting for you. In other words, Source is saying to you, every time you, because I feel like if you keep your vibrations high, something is coming to you, like in terms of love or job or something is coming, increase or whatever as far as your money is concerned. Source is saying to you, no matter what you're overthinking something you've been overthinking it because somebody's an overgiver, like pouring out, overthinking something. But Source is saying to you, whenever you're in spaces where people feel like they have to put other people down just to lift, like when you're apart from somebody, even if it's siblings, they got to put another sibling down to make you feel better. That should be your cue to exit stage left. Or they got to put, let's say, their own kids down, like for real, like they talking to you about their own kids, their own adult kids. You could have dated somebody, they talking about their own kids. Oh, they were never such and such, and I mean all of this negativity about their own kids. They either fathered or mothered, whatever, parented in some case, or the family putting their own family members down. there's no way you should be just sitting there just like you don't hear what's going on. Like, oh, okay, wow, I'm closer to their family than they are. I'm just going to sit here. Okay. Got you in the middle of something. Something about your, something you may have said something to somebody that you were depressed at some time, at some point. This is the Four of Cups here. Somebody, you may have said something about you being depressed. Maybe you cried about something. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. You may have poured out to some people. You poured out to somebody's family. But you created this new life. You and somebody else created a new life for yourselves. Apart from each other, right? That's what I'm looking at here, apart from each other. Why would someone's family bait somebody into something? Why would they bait them and their kids into something? Why would they bait you and your kids into something? It's family members. Knight of Cups. Well, somebody could have love coming across their path. You could have a message of love coming across your path, or like some kind of romantic proposal, or like this, or something about you saving yourself. You're saving yourself from something, and that's a message where source is saying you can save yourself from all of this. Just detach, like save yourself from this. You're not looking for new love to save you. You saving yourself. It's like you know how to tap in and save yourself at this point. Page of Wands. Yeah, these energies, like I said, they're shady. They act like a bunch of teenagers, and they'll tell you that they're shady. They'll tell you. They come right out their mouth and say they shady. I mean, those are the exact words, that they are shady. Like they pride themselves on the who can be the shadiest award. Yep, Seven of Wands. So I definitely see you closing out a cycle in prayer and meditation and moving on. They got you in the middle of something. Focus on your own inner child. Yeah, when somebody moved on, when the scales from somebody's eyes about something moved on, either they considered you as a snake or you considered them as a snake. That's something happened. But then you also realize rebirth as well. Like rebirth could come in the form of like somebody awakening, considering their own child and saying, okay, maybe somebody's child is being bullied, so they got to make a decision. They to make a courageous decision. The intuition tapped in. Maybe they need to make a decision. The child is exhausted. It's just exhausting, having to constantly, whatever, right? But in either case, scales from people's eyes have been removed. You may have felt like you hit the jackpot because now you got to hear all of these. You sit back and listen to all of these stories after you done poured out this and poured out that. Here you are creating a life for yourself. You're like, oh gosh, these people are helping you. They making connections for you. They doing this and that. It was like making a deal with the devil. You walk right into it. Literally like making a deal with the devil. Until it was time to collect. That's why you're detaching yourself from anger and replacing it with compassion. Like, boy, oh boy, now it makes sense. Sinking with the moon. Child, you need to go take a walk outside under the moonlight. Recharge. Recharge and reset. It's a full moon. So, this video may Come back out at a later date when the moon is in a different phase, but in either case, Source is saying you need to recharge and reset. These two energies cause a lot of confusion. Cause a lot of confusion in people's future. And it's time for you to detach. Time for you to detach. So, and it's not just a man and a woman. It could be, this is the divine masculine, divine nature, divine feminine nature of everybody. This is actually one person. This is one energy, right? But Source is saying, you want to think about your future. You want to think about your future. In public face, new beginning, you going on vacations, your flexibility, being able to do things, your money, your success. You want to focus on all of those things, not being sitting somewhere exhausted because of that. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.